Thanks for watching. I'm going to be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Avant, which is a pretty new entry-level Android option for T-Mobile. I've been using this phone for a couple weeks and have noticed that there's not a lot out there on it, so I thought I'd share my thoughts on this $200 Android smartphone currently available for T-Mobile. Let's start with the design. As you can see, this phone bears a strong resemblance to recent flagship devices in the Samsung Galaxy line, including its own version of the faux leather backing material, which I actually think looks a lot better in person than it does in pictures, and is a nice upgrade over having just a hard plastic back. It's a lot easier to hold in the hand, and just feels nicer. The chrome accents on the side are a nice touch, and the button placement makes sense all around, with the power button on the right, a volume rocker on the left, which isn't great but does function, and the home button on the front with the micro USB charging port at the bottom. All in all, the phone has a very nice hardware design at this price point. Moving on to the screen, it is not a strength of the phone, but that's hardly surprising for $200. It's a 4.7-inch LCD panel, which is decently readable in all conditions, including daylight, but offers washed out colors and surprisingly doesn't have any sort of auto brightness functionality. The resolution is 960 by 540, which is decent enough to not be noticeable most of the time, but definitely isn't as sharp as a 720p, 1080p, or even higher resolution display. One benefit of the lower resolution screen is actually performance, since the phone isn't having to push quite so many pixels. In general use, the phone performs admirably for the price, and I'm rarely left waiting to move in between apps, and video playback is always smooth. The fact that this phone has 1.5 gigabytes of RAM is a huge boon to the multitasking performance, and actually the main reason why I got the Avant versus other phones at comparable prices. I have no complaints about day-to-day performance, and it's probably hard to beat for $200. As you can see, I am running the Google Now launcher, which has performed very well on the Avant, though I'm sure TouchWiz is comparably snappy. Since it's running Android 4.4.2, you will have access to most of the latest Android features, but I wouldn't count on getting any future updates to the Android operating system on this phone. As far as battery life goes, I haven't had any trouble getting through the day, but on heavier usage days, I've definitely had it get below 20% by the time I'm plugging it in to go to bed. You can definitely count on charging the Avant every night. Gaming performance is not a strength of the phone due to its older chip architecture, but casual games do play fine, and due to that lower resolution screen, even many more demanding games are playable. Here's a little footage of Temple Run 2 and Asphalt Overdrive to give you an idea of what the Avant is capable of. I'm not a huge gamer, so this is all fine with me, but if you do want to play the latest and greatest, you may need to spend a little more money on your next handset. Last but not least, let's talk about the camera. I've added in some stills that I took with the Avant, as well as a little bit of video so you can get an idea of what it produces, and there is a link below to the full gallery on those. To be frank, the camera is not very good. In great light with simple subjects, you can actually get pretty decent, reasonably detailed results for a 5 megapixel camera, but anything other than that, being in the shade or trying to capture landscapes, is not going to return very good results at all. The colors come out muted, and you're not going to get a lot of detail if there's very much going on in the shot. All in all, not a very good camera, though probably usable for Facebook and Instagram. All in all, the Samsung Galaxy Avant is an attractive phone that offers solid performance for a good price. The camera's poor, and it certainly feels its price at times, like not having any auto brightness control, but I've been totally satisfied with the phone and would definitely recommend it if the camera isn't a deal breaker for you and you're in the market for a phone that's $200 off contract. If you have any questions, you can post them below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.